Hello, I am Lady Loy on Lovers Rock Radio, 7 till 9 on a Friday, and on Saturdays I'm on Gold Standard Radio, 7 till 9. If you miss any of my shows, you can catch up on Mixcloud /Lady Loy or /Gold Standard Radio. Now, what I wanted to talk about today is three types of men. And when I'm talking about men, I am talking about black men first of all, and mostly black British men, although Caribbean men who have been in the UK for a long, long time and who have been acclimatized and conditioned and picked up tips from the black British men, they could operate in the same way. Now, the three types of men. We have a group of men who look for women who are well established and who can look after them, basically. The women usually earn quite a lot of money, and so therefore they don't have to do much. They can do stuff around the house, and basically that. The woman doesn't demand too much of them, providing they help, maybe do the housework, do some odd jobs. So you have those type of men who may not even work. They might do a little hustle there and then to put a little couple of shekels in their pockets, but that is what they do. You also have a second breed of men who they complain about gold diggers, but they actually like the attention. Those are the ones with money. They're the ones who know women pursue them and will do anything for them. And in exchange, they will give them money to fit with their lifestyle. And a lot of men will criticize them and, slag them off. But the fact of the matter is, if they didn't allow it to happen, it couldn't happen. So you have to ask yourself, why do men want trophy wives? Why do men get a kick out of having women who run after them? I mean, some of these celebrities I saw, which celebrity was it? He's getting so old now, but he had about 3 women and he was touching them up, and you could see one of the women looked very uncomfortable, but so she'll do it for the money, and that's the price. And it gives him a sense of power. It makes him feel, I guess, like a man. He's providing. And most men want to provide, as much as it's only circumstances why many of them cannot provide. Some have just had unfortunate experiences, and which has left them, unable to, whether it's or not, it's find a hustle, get a job, get money underneath the table, whatever it is. And then you have the third type of man. That type of man is looking for a woman who is more or less equal to him, and they can supplement each other. Now, when you find women, depending on which stage you are in as a woman, if you find a man, if you are kind of well-to-do, got a little dosh, you just want the company of a man. Don't know if you want a booty call or whether you want them to be your proper man. And you do everything, like some women will say, I did everything for him. He didn't have to work. He didn't have to do this. I did everything. And he left. And he left because he feels emasculated. He left because even though it's easy to just take, he really prefers in his gut to help out and feel as though he can help out. When you've got women who have got a little dosh and they pay for tradespeople to do all of the household jobs because they don't trust the person that they're with to do them because they're not specialised in that area. And so there's nothing that man can do to contribute apart from giving his body. And by that time, he starts feeling used, and it's very difficult. Some people think men can't be used. Some people, or some women think that that's what men want, just to have get their end off and they're happy and just have somebody to look after them. But then, unless they have a gigolo mind, that's not going to make them happy. And so you'll find that those type of men who are in those type of relationships where they're being actually mothered in a way, they tend not to stay. They tend to look for a relationship, even though it's difficult, where they are pushed. And that's why you see a lot of black men go with white women, because white women, they push them to do what they need to do. They don't let them get away with squat. They have to do something. And so a lot of black men black women who may not even want to entertain, you'll find that white women will take them on and, in quotes, train them, make them do what they are supposed to do. So those men end up feeling as though they have a sense of worth because they are being forced to do something in order to have a little sense of dignity. Whereas if a black woman is allowing a man just to live with her and not do anything, that man almost feels as though he's lost his dignity. And so you've got, like I said, you've got three types of men, and you have the women who are looking for men who can supplement them as well. You know, I think the ideal situation is where two people can supplement each other, where two people arrive on the same playing field. And, you know, the two people can feel as though, yeah, I can support him, he can support me. And there are ways that I can do something for him, and there are ways that he can do something for me, even though it's not always financial. But there is some kind of balance. And those are the type of relationships that are more likely to survive. But when it's one extreme or the other, because those gigolos, or not even the gigolos, those well-off men who women are a dime a dozen, they're not going to stay with those women. They might put them in a house and pay, give them cars and give them their credit card to go and do shopping. But that woman never knows when that door is going to shut, or when he's going to say, listen, you're out. And when they get used to that lifestyle and then they get kicked out for whatever reason, that is a very, very difficult thing to accept. And I remember watching Maths, and one of the girls said, I want a man to look after me. And this guy says, yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind looking after you. And her eyes lit up because she's saying, oh, this man is going to look after me. And she jacked in the good guy that she had for the guy who said he's going to look after her. And all he did was do the necessary. And then the next thing you know, he kicks her to the curb. She didn't get nothing. And she lost the guy that she was with. So, you're very disposable if you become a trophy wife, or if you are a so-called gold digger. But like I said, those guys who are well off, they thrive on gold diggers. And as much as they chastise them, they are a commodity that they live off of. So I guess what I'm saying is it's good to strike a balance when you're dealing with men, and know why men decide to go off and look elsewhere and get someone different. It's not necessarily that person is better, but that other woman is more likely to make him feel more like a man, more likely to make him feel worthy even. And I think that is the difference. I think, a lot of women, they get their wires crossed and they think that by doing everything for a man, that is making him happy. And when it's not, because I think it's in a man's DNA to want to do something, to want to contribute something, even when they're struggling.